The semester is over, exams are finished, and I am finally free to properly conclude LPs that I haven't done the extra footage for yet. Hey guys, Saxdu26 here, and it's Soldiers of Fortune. Might be me, but I don't remember playing a game by that name. Of course, because it was called the Chaos Engine, because that's the European title. Soldiers of Fortune is the American title of the game, and here on the Mega Drive version, that's what we're going to be going by. Because the Mega Drive version is what we're going to be looking at for the extra footage. And it's quite different to the SNES version, but also holds a lot of similarities to the original Amiga and Acorn versions. In particular, with the intro here, which is practically ripped directly from it. And the original intro is somewhat in the SNES version, but because I wanted to use the CD32 intro, I cut it out. And now I'm showing it off here, so as not to be redundant. One thing the Mega Drive version does have, though, that the SNES intro does not have, is bios for the 6 mercenaries. And the reason it doesn't have that in the version that I actually played for the LP is because the title screen just plonks all the mercenaries there and just goes, there you go, all your toppings, have at it. But here we actually have, some reason to care about the individual differences of the characters, and somewhat kinda backstory character development things going on. But yeah, this is something that wasn't in the SNES version, but was on the Acorn version, and I remember this very distinctly, and getting a bit of a nostalgia hit reading through it all again. While I do prefer the SNES version, gotta love the Mega Drive version for that. Unfortunately, not the title of the scientist. He's still called the scientist and not the preacher. Where was I going again? Oh yeah, another thing it also rips from the original version is the title screen, with the menu here. This is practically ripped directly from the Amiga and Acorn versions, as opposed to the one that's in the SNES version. So let's get on to actually talking about these extra things, shall we? First thing I want to correct myself on is playing this game with only one player and the second player not coming back. Something that I tried to do in the main LP, but failed miserably to do. And that's because I played it on one player versus computer, not 2-player mode. You can only play through the game with the other player permanently dead, and have the option not to resurrect them if you play in 2-player mode. Since I played one player versus computer, I had to resurrect the scientist. Another thing that I mistakenly mentioned during the course of the LP was that your special powers that you can learn and buy in the store are determined by whoever you're partnered with, and this is completely incorrect. Every character has a set selection of special powers that they can purchase as they level up. It will always be the same for that character, and I'm scrolling through them all on screen right now, showing you all of them. A couple of which we haven't actually looked at. I'll get to that in a minute. But now for the main meat of this part, showing off the characters that I completely omitted over the course of the playthrough. Starting off with the Mercenary and the Brigand, here in World 1. Now, while I'm playing as the Mercenary, the Brigand is the one I want to talk about first. Because he shares a lot of gameplay similarities to Navi, and well, considering I played as Navi in the LP, what a more fitting place to start. The Brigand's weapon is pretty much just a simple rifle. It shoots forward bullets, they hit the enemy, they die. It's just a very simple weapon. It's pretty much a weaker version of the Navi's bazooka. Nothing too surprising there. The bullets change color as it upgrades, bullets appear side by side as it upgrades as well. He's pretty much just an agile and less powerful version of the Navi. Now in this tray here, is the goodie pathway that I wanted to take in the LP, but because I took the one that required you to blow up the rock, couldn't backtrack for this one and missed out on a whole bunch of stuff. Hi, you ladybird. Thank you. Food is good. And back out again. So yeah, Brigand is pretty much a weaker version of Navi. But he's a very straightforward character, so, he's all-round agile and fairly simple to understand. The Mercenary, on the other hand, His weapon is the Gatling gun, and as you can see it's very erratic and very spread out because of the fact that the bullets are actually a flurry of little pellets. Each one doing a little bit of damage, and it kind of stacks damage as you hit enemies with it. Now this here, I like that sound effect, by the way. Now where was I? Oh yeah, Party Power, this thing. Makes you fully upgraded for 5 seconds. Insanely powerful. Also shows how very inaccurate the mercenary's weapon becomes when he's fully upgraded. It turns that little flurry of bullets into a fanning out spread shot, and when you're trying to aim at something in front of you, it can make stacking damage kind of difficult. I mean, not completely impossible, but I don't know. It feels to me like the weapon's a little bit unwieldy. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's different for him, and that's pretty much why I don't play as a mercenary, because, do not like you running into me, sir. Uh-oh. I did not... That's one thing I'm kind of iffy about with the Mega Drive version. The frame rate's really inconsistent, and it doesn't matter what emulator I play it on, I can never get it stable. Not even on Gen 32, so it's gonna be a bit unpredictable. Oh yeah, I forgot the Mega Drive version, when you die, it turns your character icon into a skull. No other version does that. It's kind of nifty. Wow, it's really hard to talk about extra things when you're in a level as simple as 1-4, but hey, I'll talk about what I can. Yeah, that's the thing, we're almost at the end of the level, and I've talked about all I can with these two, honestly. Actually, on the topic of character icons, it's one thing I can talk about, the HUD. Well, the Mega Drive version isn't too different from the SNES versions, but the original one looked like this. And yeah. And I'm not going to get those power-ups because the exit is right there. Run, 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 run.
Well complete.
No idea where Brigand was, but doesn't really matter. Okay then, on to the next level. Warning, this could be unpredictable. I rarely ever take this exit, but here we are in the third world with the last two characters. The gentleman and the thug. Yet another polar opposite pair of characters here. I've been noticing a lot of the pairings I've been doing have been of characters that are very, very drastically different to one another. Even with Navi and the scientist. But yes, the gentleman and the thug. The gentleman is very, very handy with his pistol here, which is very high rapid fire and very high power output, even with only 2 shots. And that's because this 2-shot pistol is already maxed out, because the gentleman hits max level weapon-wise faster than any other character in the game. And that monster distractor is really helpful. So the gentleman is a really good character to start the game with, if you want to pretty much get yourself to max power rating quickest. And as for the thug's weapon is the shotgun, and it's somewhat similar to the mercenary's Gatling gun in that it shoots off a lot of small pellets. The only difference is that while the mercenary's Gatling gun sort of fires off a cloud-like scatter shot, the thug's Gatling gun sort of fires like an outward fanning spread shot kind of thing. It's... Describing them, they kind of probably sound identical, but it's basically a case of one is a cloud, one is a fan. And the Monster Repel special power is fantastic. The only problem is, to the best of my knowledge, only the gentleman can get it from the store. It is a store-bought only special power. And my goodness, it is broken. Oh!
Activated.
I did not know there was a brute there waiting to ambush me. On a mild topic with the spread shots with the thug and the mercenary, I think the thugs is probably better. The shots break up when they actually hit the enemy and do solid damage, as opposed to just a cloud hitting forwards and hitting through the enemy. And yeah, that's literally everything for the Chaos Engine. Extra mode, done. Extra mode, extra part. Extra part done. That is all of the extra content in this game. We are done with this LP. That's this Let's Play over, so until next time, this has been Sax226, and I'll see you later.
Level complete.